let us talk about another Nigerian player who is potentially on the move this summer. Scored today, star boy of Nigerian football, Victor James Osimhen. I mean, Osimhen, the transfer saga that never ends when it comes to Victor Osimhen. We've been hearing about Osimhen going one place or the other for a very, very long time now. But news that is reaching us is that Victor Osimhen has reportedly, his agents, his representatives have reportedly agreed basic personal terms with the club called Manchester United. Victor Osimhen to Manchester United. Somebody on Instagram was already tagging me today. IoT, Shebi, I told you Osimhen is going to join United. You can see now. You know, it's been like, what do you think about that? Osimhen to United. Are you for or against that transfer?
The issue is that mind you, they realize that the stumbling block to getting Victor Osimhen will actually what be the personal terms. And what they are trying to do basically is that they want to get that one over the line. And for them to agree this deal with him, I think that's actually what that's one thing that can stop the transfer from from happening. So I and I know that Ruben Amrin actually was a big fan of Victor Osimhen. He thinks that Victor Osimhen is the guy that can get the goal. Forget about the lap. I don't know. Forget about that. He thinks that Victor Osimhen is the guy that can get him the goals. So he's going to play. He's going to play. So let's just don't forget that they also have some big players in that team that can deliver, on a good day. But I just think that if Man U can win the Europa League, they get the Champions League ticket. I think it's not bad for Victor Osimhen to go to there. At least I'll going to be watching, this backyard.
You're gonna be watching him in your backyard.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's not a bad move. For me, I don't think I look at the Chelsea team, the mood in that Chelsea team is out of it again. They're back to their early time. I don't see anything in that Chelsea team for me to say Victor Shashua was to go there. Despite them being, higher than United on the league table. For me, they are really, really dropping badly. That even home loss to Legia was that's another another crazy thing. So I just think that in England, I think Man U is not a bad move for him.
Hmm, hmm.
Mm,
You know what I think?
mhm.
I think Osimhen should not join Manchester United.
Okay.
Even if they qualify for the Champions League,
Hmm.
I don't think United have a plan or a clear plan. Ruben Amorim, they are trusting him. Osimhen does not solve United's problems.
Who's over?
United's problem is not a lack of striker, it's lack of team, lack of identity, lack of direction. They are still trying to solve.
Hmm.
They brought a coach that is doing much worse than the coach that they sacked, that they said was terrible. This new coach is doing much worse.
Hmm.
And the coach believes that he is right. He
Hmm.
is the one that is like, what he's doing. Oh, the players are all bad. Oh, they've shipped Rashford away. The same Rashford is doing well for Aston Villa. They've shipped Anthony. The same Anthony is doing well for Real Betis. They want to ship everybody out and rebuild their
That's a
squad.
very good point on that. Yeah.
Osime is going to come and they need to sign 6 players with him.
Hmm.
And we even pray that those 6 players will be able to do what they are supposed to do, because they signed Dogu, the Dogu. Waiting happened to him. They signed the Euro where they signed. What was he contributing to the team? So for me, I don't think he solves the problem. I think if he goes to Chelsea, he solves not Chelsea's entire problem, but 90% of Chelsea's problem is goal scoring. If you look at the top chances created in the Premier League, both Cole Palmer and Enzo Fernandez are in the top 5,
Hmm.
but they don't have the striker that is finishing off those chances.
Look at the movement of Jackson. Oh my God.
They don't have somebody that is there, that is getting the ball and putting it in the back of the net. And I think if he joins Chelsea, he solves a big part of their problem. And then, provided that Chelsea can find maybe one centre back and one keeper, Chelsea will be a solid team. If he joins Arsenal, he takes them over the line as far as I'm concerned. I've been saying this since last season. I think Osimhen is that missing piece that if Arsenal gets, they might be winning the league.
What about Isak?
Like for Arsenal or compared to Osimhen.
Yeah, for us now, who do you think that who's going to get them well line more? Do you think Victor
I
Osimhen or?
mean, they're both quality players. Isak is better with his feet than Victor Osimhen. So
Hmm.
maybe for an Arsenal, that's something that they might like, because Kai Havertz likes to play with his feet as well. So maybe they might like Isak over Osimhen for that. But the tenacity that Osimhen brings to the field, Isak is not going to bring that. The drive, the passion, the relentless pressing that Victor Osimhen brings to the field. Isak is not going to bring that. So I think it depends on what director Mikel is looking for, Commander Mikel. If he's looking for a hard hitting forward that is going to hustle, that is going to press, going to give energy, then Osimhen. But if he's looking for somebody that he thinks can play more with the team, can do tip it up with Odegaard, with Bukayo Saka, all
Hmm.
those things, then he might go with Isak. I think either of those two players will be good for Arsenal. But let's Arsenal take Isak. Osimhen should join Chelsea. It's his dream club. It's the club of his hero. Agent Mikel has been trying to convince him to come and join the club. And Chelsea is a club that I know that they fumbled the bag with him last summer, but the Bible says we should forgive. Forgive them for they know not what they were doing. And this time now, they will pay you what you are worth. And you
Hmm.
can come and you can enjoy it. Chelsea just need to qualify because that's the biggest thing now. If Chelsea don't qualify for the Champions League or maybe don't even qualify for the Europa League, it's hard for you to convince him to join you over maybe a Manchester United or an Arsenal, or whichever other team is coming. So Chelsea just need to secure that qualification, finish in the top five, and then you become a more exciting prospect for a player like Victor Osimhen. But I think Osimhen comes to Chelsea and he solves 85% of their problem. And if they can get a stable goalkeeper, they don't even have Chelsea don't even need a world-class goalkeeper. They just need
Hmm.
a goalkeeper that is not selling game. That's it. Just give you a goalkeeper that is not selling game and one good centre back.
They need to look at what Sanchez is taking, what he's doing before the game.
you
It's
know,
really.
is but I mean, Osimhen, wherever he goes, I trust him. He's going to deliver. And on that note, Osimhen hit his 30 goal mark for the season today. When the season started and I said Osimhen must score 30 goals, I don't know if you guys that were there that day are in the comments now. People were saying, why are you setting all these high expectations? Don't put pressure on him. This one, that one, that one. He doesn't have to score 30. He had to score 30 and he did because he is Victor Osimhen, a player of that quality, one of the best in the world, Ballon d'Or top 13 or what did he finish? How
Hmm.
can you tell me that he should not be scoring 30 goals when we're comparing him to the best strikers in the world in Turkey against Kayserispor, Konyaspor, Boluspor, all this? Come on now. And I know that he's going to get us like five more before the season ends.
Hmm.
So I'm really happy with his outputs. You see that that's the reason why people are still talking about him like this. Imagine if Osimhen was not scoring these the goals like this in Turkey. Do you think they will still be linking him to all these big clubs and people will be talking about him like that? And people were telling me, Ayoti, you don't like him. Yeah, setting all these high expectations. Oh, this one, that one, that one, that one. I don't know what are people talking about. To whom much is given, much is expected. And the best players thrive under pressure. And I'm happy that Victor Osimhen is thriving and he's showing us that he's one of the best players. Now he needs to go and do it in a big boy league. Win the double, win the league, win the cup, and then go and do it in a big boy league. At the end of the day, these things will add towards his legacy and will add towards, what we love and what we see about Victor Osimhen that will make us to continue to talk about him for a long time. And in the future, when we're talking about the best strikers that Nigeria has ever produced, nobody is going to talk about how many goals he scored in Turkey. Because if it's by that, we should include Onuachu in that conversation too.
Yeah.
So nobody's ever going to talk about how many goals he scored in Turkey when we're talking about best strikers. We'll talk about what he did in Italy. We'll talk about what he can potentially do in England or in Spain, wherever he goes to. So for me, I'm happy that he has produced like this, and I hope that he can continue to produce as he moves forward in his career. But he should not go to Man U. He should not go to Man U. Don't go and join them in their struggle. Don't go. It's just like you see a man that is dying. You say that's who you want to go and tie yourself to. unless you just want to collect their inheritance, but there's no inheritance to collect here. No,
Mm-hmm.
man, you when they feed their staff lunch, please. Those ones, they are a dying club. Allow them to revive themselves first.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see next season if they can, something. But join Chelsea or join Arsenal for me. Or
Yeah.
maybe if Liverpool are looking for a striker, of course, Liverpool is the most stable of these clubs.
Mm-hmm.
If you can join any of those three clubs in the Prem, I think you'll be good. Obviously, Man City are not going to sign him because they have Haaland.
Yeah.
So for me, Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool, any of those clubs. Liverpool is obviously the best option. Arsenal will be the second best option. Chelsea is my own preferred option.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, that is that on Victor Osimhen's potential transfer.